Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to the Coffee and Collaborations podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Winborne of Kimberly Winborne LLC, and of course, the long time running 2-year Coffee and Collaborations podcast.
I am your co-host, Al the Great, designer and CEO of Good Steward Apparel and Good Steward Apparel Brands.
Yes. And so this is our second episode together. We just launched the first one last week, and how exciting. I kind of like having somebody else with me each week, and in the weeks that I can't be here, I'll have someone to be able to talk to the new guests and all of that. So we talked about integrity in collaboration. That is going to be our topic for today. And Al is going to share with us some bullet points and different things like that. And we're just going to have our normal kind of conversation around this topic. I hope you all are doing okay. I know that this time is taxing on many people. We're experiencing space and time that we never could have imagined that we would experience. And so we want to, as a team, send our love out to you. We want to let you know that we're thinking about you and we do care over here at Coffee and Collaborations. It's not just about business as usual, but because we do still have to do business, we want to talk a little bit about something that a lot of times people kind of throw to the trash, and that's integrity in our business practices. Al, what was it that we were talking about the other week that you wanted to share?
I think one of the reasons we felt like this was an important topic because sometimes in a collaboration we kind of lose ourselves a little bit, and we kind of lose some of our integrity. Or sometimes you may get in a collaboration with someone who is probably not a good fit for you. Or it's a lot of things that kind of get us in trouble. So integrity is definitely one of those important things to talk about.
Yeah. When you say get us in trouble, what do you mean?
So we all know that as a business, we have a business plan, and we have goals, and we have all these things that we set for our business. But sometimes we get in a collaboration, we kind of lose ourselves.
Yeah.
We kind of cross lines that we said we didn't want to cross, or we do things maybe that we're not ready for, just for the sake of collaboration.
That's good. I want you to talk more about that. So we're going to talk about that too, right?
Yes, we are.
That's good. Because so honestly, Al, I hadn't thought about that. Like from the perspective of doing things that are actually against your core values and, life morals, I guess you can say, because you're so excited potentially about being in a collaboration with someone. You're excited about the opportunity to maybe grow your business or whatever. And so you do things that are outside of the lines of your morals.
Yeah. And for our business, just as an example, Good Steward Apparel is a Christian brand. So, and we want to really not go over the line, but we want to go right up to that line and stick our toe over that line of modesty. We want to be edgy, but we want to bring a certain like classic modesty without going way low and showing too much skin.
Yeah.
So we can't collaborate with everybody because these are our values, and these may not be the values of every other fashion brand.
Yeah. It's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to really think about when you're going into a collaboration, really think about what things won't you do?
Yeah.
What are those things that, okay, I can't cross this line, I can't cross that line. But let's get into, I have a couple bullet points now. We can, like we said, we're gonna have like a conversation.
Yeah.
One of the things I think is the most important thing about a collaboration is we have to be tribe-minded. We have to be able to put the mission of the collaboration before the individual organization. And so often I see people go into collaborations and it's about what I can get, what my company can get out of this partnership.
Yeah.
How is this going to move me forward? But it's you want that in a collaboration, but it also should be about the mission. Set the mission first, and then anything else is just extra.
Yeah. I love that term, tribe minded. And you mentioned that before. And I know, throughout my business dealings, I always talk about finding your tribe, when we think of community and who you want to grow with, association, but being tribe minded in the sense of collaboration is not a term that I've ever used, but I like how you use that, like really thinking of the collective is essential to the success of everyone. Because when we think about only the thing that would benefit us, it's such a ripple effect to a downward spiral. Yeah. And so I like that term, tribe minded, thinking about everybody in the collective and not just yourself.
Me and my partners, we have a mantra for Good Steward Apparel brands. So we say, make waves and build arcs. Mm-hmm. So, we are all about changing the culture. So we want to shake things up. We want to make the waves, but we also want to build the arc to take everybody with us. Yeah. And you can't really, if you have that mindset that you want to, create opportunities for other people, you can't really get in a collaboration with someone who's selfish. Yeah. That's not being tribe minded.
Yeah. I like that term. Make waves and build arcs.
Yeah.
Bringing everybody with us.
Yeah.
One mind.
Everybody who can. Everybody don't want to go though.
Everybody don't need to go.
You're right.
To be honest, and so that's another thing, like to that point, we have to be able to communicate that though. Like, I unfortunately, a lot of times we don't have the, I guess, level of training or development or whatever, communicate that with someone. And we could actually continue to bring them along with just a little bit of communication. But as a result of being afraid to revisit, like, hey, let me remind you that this is what this is about, then we lose the opportunity to maybe help somebody, give them a lesson. They could be an essential key point of our collaboration, but we just can't communicate that they're slipping in one area. They're not being minded or following the core values. And so I think, to piggyback off of that, and I'm going to probably say it throughout all of them, communicate when somebody is not being tribe-minded before you just kick them off the arc.
Yeah, because sometimes people get a little stuck.
Yeah, they do. What's one
so
of
that brings us, that's a good transition to the next point. So the next one was have an agreement, and you must honor it. When we think about agreements, it doesn't always have to be a contract. It can be I suggest that it be an agreement with something on paper that each person can sign, and each person can kind of really go through and read it so you guys can agree on it. But in that agreement, you need to have, what are the duties? What is the length of time of this collaboration? What's all included? How are we going to split revenue or split overhead? It really needs to be kind of a detailed agreement. And with any collaboration, I work with family members and made them sign an agreement. So I make everybody sign an agreement. Yeah. Release forms for pictures and agreements. I am really been good about that from like day one.
Yeah, that's good, because it helps to you can just point to the boundaries. You can point to the expectations. You can remind a person from looking at what's on the paper, what you agreed to, and there's no in the middle muddle. There's no, well, I didn't know this. Well, it's right here. You may have overlooked it, but when we walked through this, it was right here all the time. So I agree with that. And some people do get offended for some reason about being presented with a contract, especially somebody close to you or a family member. Have you run into that at all?
No, because the way I present it is it's a way of managing expectations. Mm-hmm. I am definitely one of those people where I don't want to expect something or think something in my head that wasn't agreed upon, or I don't like that the unspoken things. So it's good to kind of get it all out in the open. These were the expectations that we set for this collaboration.
Yeah, that's good. So if you guys heard that, like I heard it, because this is something actually that a lot of business owners overlook, contracts, signing non-disclosure agreements, or, these are the terms of our agreement, those sort of things, which can actually to your point, be a part of the collaboration that helps to keep you on track and actually helps to save the relationship long term. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely want to save the relationship because sometimes, sometimes a collaboration is like a marriage.
Yeah.
So, and you have to get close to a person and you want to make sure that you honor that relationship and you save that relationship. You don't want to damage it.
Yeah. It really is. You spend a lot of time with that person. You have to learn how to communicate effectively. It's a journey. So I love that. It's like a marriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So the other thing is, with an agreement, but this is kind of separate. You need to set expectations of what each organization is required to do. So if we're going into a collaboration, I've done when I've collaborated during fashion shows. The expectation is that we are going to do this to market, this fashion show.
Yeah.
You're gonna do 2 videos. I'm gonna do 2 videos. We're gonna do a collaborative live. How are we gonna market it? Because that tends to be one of the biggest things I've seen. Like when you go into a collaboration and you're all in, you're marketing it hard, and the person you're collaborating with, they're not really marketing anything. You haven't seen them share it. They really haven't really been involved. So that caused me to also do, start to do those agreements.
Yeah. I like that. And so, okay, so how do you remind people about that? Because it's in the agreement, but they still may need that reminder to hold up their end. Do you have a system for how you do that?
I put dates. So we're going to do a video by this date. We're going to do, this by this date. And, that's in there. And then, you can kind of send them a reminder text, or when we get close, it's also a reminder. But I think dates work well.
Yeah. Deadlines.
Yeah. Deadlines.
And back to communication. Yeah. Back to communication. Like, sometimes people do need those little jolts of reminders, because when it's your vision and your big project, even though they're attached to it, so they're busy. A lot of times people are busy, and you agree to something and then you didn't put it in your calendar. And we're all guilty of that, and so having someone who's like team lead to be able to, or even if the team lead delegates someone to do this, but to give those soft reminders, like, hey, our deadline is coming up. Don't forget, this is due by this time. That helps me. I know for sure that helps me. And I usually am like, oh shoot, that's right. Let me jump on this. It's a little, give me the little kick. So I appreciate that. That's a great tip.
Yeah, me too. And I know I procrastinate. I will procrastinate. So having a deadline and knowing that I'm being close to that deadline will help.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think with anything within business or with a collaboration, we need to have some goals. Yeah. We can't just collaborate just for the sake of collaborating. We definitely need to have some goals of things that you need to have some individual goals, what you want to accomplish as a business owner, but you also need some goals of what you want the collaboration to accomplish. I think that's really important.
Yeah, that big vision, because and it helps to keep you aligned. It helps to keep you like invested too. If we have outlined goals, like for instance, our collaboration, we sat down and we talked about some things that we could do together, but long term, we still have to talk through some goals. And so that's going to help you to feel like you're more a part of Coffee and Collaboration. The more goals that we have on the table to achieve that we've outlined together. So I love that as a tip, and something that many people probably overlook because of the fact you're so excited about the collaboration that it's like, let's just get it. Let's do this. And it's like, man, all these steps that you just mentioned, we got to go back and do that. Like that's what people say, like all these things that he just mentioned, I hope this helps someone who's listening, that they realize like, okay, I have this great collaboration and this potential opportunity, and they take these tips and go back and do those things.
Yeah, one of the things that caused me to think about these things and think about business in general, I'm generally not a planner. Like I am a very flexible minded person, straight from the pocket, straight from the hip. But, that's why a lot of businesses fail.
Yeah.
Because they don't plan, they don't work on the foundational parts of the business, and end up focusing on what people see. As a fashion brand, a lot of clothing brands fail because they focus on, oh, I'm gonna have this dope design, and people gonna love this, but not focusing on how you're gonna get that design out there, how you're gonna finance it, who can you collaborate with, all these other things. So this is all part of that foundation. You got to focus on the foundation of that collaboration.
Right. And I don't mean to take us off the points and all of that, off the focus. But so today, are you rocking any Good Steward apparel?
Oh, always.
The brand man. So what? Okay, yeah. What do you have on today that's Good Steward apparel?
So today I have on No Robots. The No Robots hat.
What's that say?
Be the wonder.
Okay.
So have you ever met someone that just gave you such a good feeling? Mm-hmm. It's like that is such a wonderful person.
Yes, like, that's how you felt when you met me, right?
Yeah, that's what that means. Be the wonder. be one of the like the ninth wonders of the world. Like when people meet you, like treat people so well that it's like, oh man,
yeah,
that is a wonderful person. Be the wonder.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just. Because I remember seeing your brand first. I remember seeing Good Steward Apparel, finding out the story, and I was like, I want to meet him. And then when I met you, I was like, I want to support him, because you were that person that was like, wow, that wonder, like you just said. So I like that you're living it. You're not just wearing a hat that says it. And I've heard people say that about you, like, I really like that Good Steward Apparel guy.
Well, that's good. I'm glad of that.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, it was a sidebar. And so anything else, Good Steward Apparel?
So I was just gonna tell you the other shirt is just also No Robots. Okay. It's an astronaut, what I call a spaceman. Yeah. And it has uniquely made. So No Robots is all about being different. So I know me myself. Sometimes you feel so different that you feel like you're not even on the same planet as other people.
Yeah.
And that's where No Robots caters to. Those people that are different. Those people are not like cookie cutter. Those people who are uniquely made, which is really all of us. Yeah. But that's what it's about.
I like, I want to make a point really quickly about just authenticity. And even with collaboration, showing up as your authentic self is so key to the success of that. But that No Robots brand and what it represents, it makes me think of that word, authenticity. Show up as who God made you to be, who you are, and being authentically you, and it's not a cookie cutter you. And I think, there's so much freedom in that, and you can show up better in your relationships, your business relationships, and your personal relationships when you're authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that should be part of this next point. To be authentic, be reliable, be just, have open and honest communication.
Yeah.
And three things that stick out, which you said about being authentic. When you are being your authentic self, it makes it a lot easier to be able to collaborate, because you don't feel that person is a competitor. Yeah. I've collaborated with other fashion brands, but if you know yourself, you get to the point where you know yourself and you know what you offer. You don't feel like this is not a competition. This is a collaboration.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
And the other thing is, be reliable. Like if you say you're going to do something, we need to do it. I think we need to go back to the times where we need to really rely on our word.
Yeah.
When people used to shake hands and that meant everything.
Yeah. That's gone. Like, integrity. I love that we're talking about integrity, and that point that you just made about just being able to let your word be your bond, as it always has. I think so many people have been disappointed by people's words that they no longer live by that motto. And, while we need to have the contracts, all those things like that we mentioned, we also do need to show up so that somebody can take us for our word. Somebody can, and you may have to, it may be a process, because if somebody has been burned and they're open to collaboration again, it may be a slight process that they may need some over communication. at first while you're filling each other out. And then at some point your word will be enough. And that's something that we have to also understand as well, that people have had their journeys. But in the end, let's hope that our word can be our bond. What are some examples when you think about that? For me, I think about time. I have people in my network that really are sticklers for time. And if you're just even a couple minutes late, they are like, not happy at all. So what's something and that's an integrity issue. So what's something for you that you think about when you think about, your word and integrity and those sort of things, that last bullet point?
I think for me, it's been, we go back to the point of marketing an event. It is so important, and it really can ensure that an event is successful if you market it well. So if you're in a collaboration, make sure that you're doing your part to market that event. Not just, when we get to, it's almost game time. We get to the, last couple of weeks or last month. We need to have a marketing plan to market the event as it goes on, so people can know about it, they can be excited about it, and they can, be prepared for it.
Yeah. Event or a program. Like if we're doing a program together and you have a significant component of it, maybe development, and I'm whatever other component, social media, I don't know, I'm just off the top of my head, and I don't show up for my portion, and you're doing all this work, and now we're behind on deadlines, to your point earlier about that, because I didn't do my part. And so definitely event or program.
Yeah. One of the other things that stuck out to me with that bullet point, I think a lot of people, so I think of fairness and just is really different. I think the world would never be fair, but you can force it to be just. It doesn't, we all not going to have the same thing. We all not going to have the same talents. We all not going to drive the same cars, but you can force the world to be just by keeping, holding people accountable. Yeah. And I think in the collaboration, it is important that we're just. You know, we may not have the same workload. We may not put in the same amount of money, but it's important that it's just that both people feel like it's enough.
Yeah, that's true. And I think to that point, check-ins are important. Like evaluations however often you decide. So if it's quarterly or if it's every month, a 30-day planning session, or however that cadence works, checking in so that each person feels that and you can communicate that during those meetings.
Yeah, definitely that communication is going to be important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the last one that I have, and I think is one that is really important. It might be up at the top. Is to use discernment, but don't be distrustful. Yeah. Because we go into these collaborations and you don't want to share resources. I don't want this person stealing my stuff, stealing my designs. Yeah, we understand that you can't share everything because a lot of your resources, it took you a lot of time and effort to get those resources. Yeah. You just don't give people everything because they may not even appreciate it. But you can't go into a collaboration being distrustful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that is big. It's something that somebody may have to do some really tough self-work in order to, because sometimes we don't even see that in ourselves. And it takes being in collaborative scenarios to see that about ourselves, that maybe we are, because of our distrust, we're also emitting that into the relationship. And so now we're the whole team is like side-eyeing each other. So I love that one because it goes both ways. It's like, it's something that you can put out in the atmosphere to where it comes back to you, but it's also some self-work. That's a really good one. And then that discernment, like really having that is key. I think it's key to knowing, for me, it's been key to knowing who I can collaborate with. Because I get excited about working with people. And you already know that. So I get excited, but I've had to like take a step back and say, okay, do we have a working relationship or a friendship or whatever it is? Do we have some level of communication that we've been able to do successfully? Have we done some business deals successfully? Have we, all of those things? That's why for me, you were like somebody who I was like, I know I can work with Al, because we've passively supported each other for so long. And I think we just have this sort of a synergy. Yeah. But I knew from the beginning when I first met you that you were a person that I could work with. And so in any collaboration, we got to go with our instincts. But if we don't have that trust, our instincts are failing us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and even knowing that, that you can collaborate with a person, but knowing the limits of that collaboration. We can't, you may not be able to collaborate on everything, because that everything is just not going to work well.
Yeah.
We can collaborate on this, but we can't collaborate on that. Just like you have friends. You may have that friend that you can call at 2:00 in the morning because, you're really stressed out.
Yeah.
And you may have that friend that y'all can just go to the movies together. Y'all can't really talk about nothing.
Right.
So, you have to know the limits of your, the collaboration.
Yeah. These have all been good tips. I've loved all of these tips. Like I said before, I hope that the listeners are able to take something from this to go out, because we were talking about before that this more than ever is a great time for people to really consider collaboration. I had a meeting earlier today, actually, with a few different people to talk about that, how we can do collaboration better. So coming off of this time with COVID-19, that people can produce in a new way.
For some people, I would say probably for most of us, a collaboration can be the difference of your business surviving and your business dying.
That's right.
During a time like this. So it is very important that we collaborate and we be tribe-minded.
That's right. I love it. So how are people getting in touch with Good Steward Apparel? Go on and throw out the website before we close out, so everybody can know robots and the Good Steward Apparel jumpers and rompers and blouses and shirts, all the good stuff that you have.
Yeah. So you can follow us at you can purchase from us and support the brand at goodstewardapparel.com. You will see No Robot streetwear. You will see B Athletics Unlimited, which is lounge and athletic wear, and you also see Good Steward Apparel, which is casual wear. You can also follow us on social media at Good Steward Apparel, No Robots, B Athletics, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Love it. Yeah, guys, go check out his page, because especially they're always giving back. And so if you go to the website and you purchase something, that could be a donation towards a bigger cause, especially right now with COVID-19. Being able to support people who have less is a big deal. And they're doing that over at Good Steward Apparel. So make sure to go check them out. And they have some really great stuff. I have to wear some stuff next time. I have to wear some of my Good Steward Apparel next time.
You got to see your Dove game.
Yes, and I think I want to get one of these backpacks. I'm looking in the back.
Yeah.
A purse or a bag or something. So guys, go check, especially ladies, if you like a satchel kind of bag, overnight bag, those sort of things. He has all of that on the website. Go check it out. And of course, you can follow us at coffeeandcollaborations.com. Email us at info@coffeeandcollaborations.com with your questions, suggestions. Do you need something and you need us to be a resource? Do you have someone that you think that we should interview for the podcast? Let us know at info@coffeeandcollaborations.com. I have a conference coming up. It's actually a financial literacy summit. This is Financial Literacy Month. April is not over. It seems like it's been going on forever, but it's not over. So if you happen to be available Monday and Tuesday night, April 27th, April 28th, then join us at Kimberly Winborne, LLC. Go check out the event, Born to Win Financial Summit. You can register at borntoWinSummit.eventbrite.com, which, like I said, you can find all that information on Facebook at Kimberly Winborne, LLC, or any of the pages where you follow me, and get that information so that you can make better decisions financially today. You can make the choice today to do something different. So coffee and collaborate. Say again.
I said that is foundational for your business. That's what we were talking about. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
How your finances.
That's that house. Yeah. If you want to fortress over your business, you'll get your finances in order. And there's always hope. If you got $1, if you have a penny, you can do something different with that penny than you did yesterday, just from new information. So that's what we want to provide. And so thank you all for joining us. This has been great, Al.
It has.
Yes.
Awesome.
Have integrity. Have integrity in your collaborations. Number one in your life. But please take these tips and hopefully they'll be a blessing to you, and have integrity in your collaboration. Anything?
All right.
Okay. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of the week and a great rest of your day. See you next time on Coffee and Collaborations.
Bye.
Bye.